All right. Today we're going to go over a little bit of detail on how to fill out a metacognitive reading log, and we're going to do this using Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So for this assignment, you're going to need to have two things open. Number one, we're going to open up the metacognitive reading log template, which when we click should open up this document. You will need to make a copy of this document. You won't be able to edit it directly. So to make a copy, you're going to go up to File, down to Make a Copy, and that will give you a copy of this document that you can edit and write on. The second thing that you'll need to open is your Philosophy of the Week article, which is Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs. It should look like this when you have it open. So this is Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs by Saul, and we have the original website up here as well. So when we're doing a metacognitive reading log, the idea here is that we're taking notes on the article or whatever it is that we're reading, and we're also recording our thoughts as we are reading. Metacognition is thinking about your own thinking. So you're recognizing insights that you have, questions that you come across, predictions that you might make. We just want to record what we're getting out of the text as we're looking at it, because we can use these thoughts later on to form interpretations and to really dive deeper into a text. So the general way that we go about creating a metacognitive reading log is, number one, they have to be 2 pages long. So we'll be pulling quotes and summarizing information on this column, the I saw and I heard column. So if we're looking at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, this is a philosophical / psychology paper. And it's going briefly over Maslow's idea that human needs can be divided into 5 categories that sort of stack one on top of each other. So as you're reading, let's say that we read these first 2 paragraphs together. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a motivational theory in psychology comprising of a 5-tier model of human needs, often depicted as a hierarchical levels within a pyramid. Needs lower down in the hierarchy must be satisfied before individuals can attend to needs higher up. From the bottom of the hierarchy upwards, the needs are physiological, safety, love and belonging, esteem, and self-actualization. So what we might do is this gives us a pretty good summary of what's going on in Maslow's hierarchy. So we're going to go ahead and just copy and paste a little bit out of here. We don't want to copy and paste huge chunks, just the most important parts. So let's see. It's a motivational theory in psychology, comprising of a 5-tier model of human needs, often depicted as a pyramid. I'm going to go ahead and copy this and paste it into my copy of the metacognitive reading log. And we don't really want this to be bold. All right. So once we have our quote, because we are taking this directly from the article, we do want to make sure we're putting this inside of quotations so that we know that we are quoting this. And we do want to include the page number as well, so that if we had to write something about Maslow and we wanted to use the quote that we have down in our notes, we'll have the page number recorded, so we'll have our citation ready. So this is page number 1. And we'll go ahead and include that after our parentheses. So then what we want to do in the next column is, once we have our quote or our brief summary, we just want to put down our thoughts, questions, predictions, anything that we can really make connections to about this passage. So for instance, it mentions that Maslow's hierarchy is a motivational theory. So motivation, I think there's something about this that I might want to ask a question about. So the motivational theory, this might mean that it is designed to help people make changes. That seems about right, right? Motivation is making changes or working towards something. All right. And in our metacognitive reading log, we don't need to write complete sentences. We are, in fact, doing notes. So if we want to do things like use arrows or some bullet points, that's fine. But we do want to be rather thorough in our thoughts, right? So I'm not looking for just bullet points. We do want to have a little bit more than that. And we want to use a variety of different strategies in our metacognitive reading log. So what we might do, and I'm going to go ahead and hop onto the instructions and examples version of this, which is posted in your assignment, is we might use some of these sentence starters in this column, right? This reminds me of blank because while I was reading I thought about, I felt confused when, etc., etc. So we want to make complete thoughts as we're thinking about this, right? We want to explain what you thought while you were reading the text, and discuss why certain details seem important to you. Ask questions, identify problems, and note your confusions. Make predictions, draw connections between the text and your personal experiences or other literature or film. In short, you're going to use this column to capture your thoughts as you read the text. And again, we're looking for a variety of different ways. So we don't want to just have questions and we don't want to just make predictions. We want to have a bunch of different thoughts happening on this column. All right. So one more time, before you turn this in, this is always going to be due on Wednesday at midnight. It's always based on our Philosophy of the Week article, which you get on Monday. And this should be a complete 2 pages by the time you're done with it. So all the way down to the bottom, that is what I'm looking for. All right, and that is essentially it for the Metacognitive Reading Log. You're working on this first one today, and this is due midnight on Wednesday.